Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Arise News analyst, great Malabite, Emmanuel Efeni. You see, I'm excited seeing you today.
Good morning, Rudy.
Yes,
good morning, Rufa.
It was rather tight. Yeah.
Yes, good morning, Victoria. Tundu. MQ Abiola.
Good morning.
Yes, the coffee look, brown like a coffee.
Efeni the romantic.
Yes.
Coffee
Now, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story in break with Buhari, Osinbajo wants Naira devalued to market rates. Analysts urge caution, say local production, export, way out of FX crisis. Additional, that's a Kiwumi additional, $15 billion annual investment required to bridge infrastructure gap. Yes, this day playing up the departure from the president's point of view. Yes, and it's in a major break with President Muhammadu Buhari, who has consistently opposed the devaluation of the Naira. The Vice President Yemi Osinbajo yesterday urged the central bank, was advising the central bank to adjust the Naira exchange rate to be as reflective as possible to the market rates to boost supply. Because according to him, with this rate, investors will not bring in their dollars into the Nigerian economy. Quite shocking that at this point, the vice president seems to be taking a different position publicly. Maybe has done so behind closed doors in the past, but this is public departure. Is it really a case of a break with the president or a disagreement with the president or the presidency, speaking through the vice president in this case, is now having a change of position? I think that is something observers will want to look into carefully in the days ahead. But it must also be stated that Vice President Osinbajo, one of those being touted as wanting to succeed his boss come 2023, must also be seen to be taking some positions on what he will do with the economy, with the value of the Naira, and other aspects of our national life if he becomes president. Whether that is actually the case remains to be seen. But again, the issue of the devaluation of the Naira is one that many Nigerians will pay attention to, because any devaluation will have immediate impact on inflation. More significantly, it will impact on the price of petroleum products, because for a president who is not ready or willing to remove the fuel subsidy, you can imagine when you devalue the Naira now, what will be the price at which the country will be importing petrol. The Naira will be spending.
Yeah. I understand we have to talk about, this, because it's a crucial issue.
Yes.
So, devaluing the Naira now, there are a lot of implications to it. At first, that means you're removing the benchmarks for the budget. That means you're nullifying the benchmark. It's set at 410. We can't afford to do that now. But what we've always enunciated is the fact that the problem here is forex. How do we get foreign exchange? The most veritable way of getting the foreign exchange will be production. Because if you look all over the world, it is the more you
production for exports.
It is the more you produce for export, that's when you get foreign exchange. I mean, I gave an instance of Japan, and I gave an instance.
Your very favorite example.
No, and I gave an
how
instance
they produce
PlayStation
and make billions.
Games, and they make billions from that. But the other question.
So what are we producing?
The other question is, what is our ease of doing business? If we want to produce for export, We need to make Nigeria attractive for doing business, for people to come site their factories here to do business. How speedily can we work on that? We need to work on our taxes, our tax regime, to be able to incentivize businesses. All over the world, countries signed up to a 15% corporate tax plan. Nigeria said no. There's still multiple taxation. You set up a factory somewhere in Lagos, every Tom, Dick, and Harry comes to collect money from you. You can't put that cost on your business. It affects your business. So there are many factors militating against ease of doing business, which we need to fix quickly for us to be able to produce.
But there's a desk on ease of doing business on the Vice President's office.
It's called PEBEC, and they keep saying they are doing a lot, the numbers keep, but we need them to do even more. Because it is difficult to do business, even setting up a business, registering a business. They say, oh, the process has been halved, but the question is, what is the reality on ground? That's the only way you can, attract investors into the economy and make it a great place to do business. Because let's not forget, the argument is you want people to come to Nigeria to invest. There are other countries to win investors.
Yes, a lot of multinationals.
And everybody's
citing their factories in Ghana, in South Africa.
Tunu talked about security. Insecurity is another big factor. So why are people going to Ghana over us? I mean, I don't want to say it, but why did Twitter go to Ghana over us?
But the president team is saying that security is better than in 2015.
It's better now, where a lot of people.
That's what they're arguing. Part of the achievement they touted yesterday.
Where farmers are killed in Zabamari. Is it better now? What is our output as regards production?
You think twice before you travel to Dogbolu.
What enough storage do we even have as we speak today? The government is just saying we are going to increase more silos when we have increased post-harvest losses. So those are the things we need to work on to be able to get that dollar. Nigeria is blessed. It's a virgin land. There are possibilities, but we can't just be saying things we need to do. This is the time to do.
So are we saying no to devaluation? Because the actual rate, according to experts, the real value of the Naira will be just by 5%, according to experts, including the IMF.
No, that's even beside the point. Yeah. It's not as if this ministerial retreat will take place and suggestions that are made yesterday will be implemented tomorrow. I think it's just a review process. And why I said earlier that this should not be holding talks is for government to take the various inputs and process through the various departments and then, process that information in a way that it can affect policy decisions and also provide a way. Let this not be another National Economic Summit Group platform where people just come and they blow hot air and we don't see enough in terms of output and follow-throughs. That's one point. Second, I spoke at length on this earlier on, but I think the point about foreign investment, portfolio investors coming to Nigeria, I think it's important to note that foreign capital will go to a place where they can get the best kind of return on investment.
Yes.
And, so it's not about an emotional thing. It's not about saying, we are inviting foreign investors. No investor will go to a place where they think they will not get, maximum return on investment. And that's why the point about the environment is important. How do you ensure a stable environment where there is certainty, at least to some degree, and where there is respect for the sanctity of agreements, and where, there is enough, structure in place to even protect the economic environment against either endogenous or exogenous shocks. So this is all part of the conversation. And then earlier on, we talked about power production, electricity. Who is coming to invest in a place where there is no electricity? Who will come and invest his dollar in a place where there is no security? Who will be encouraged to come to a place where there is multiple taxation? So the conversation, I think, is useful. And I don't think it should be phrased in terms of, the vice president of Nigeria disagreeing with the CBN governor or disagreeing with the president of Nigeria. No, that's not the issue. We like the conversation. It's good to generate these ideas, but there must be follow-throughs because, in government, many beautiful things are said, and you don't see it reflected in, in terms of output. That's where, in my view, the problem is. As for the devaluation of the Naira. I said again that that had been recommended again and again by the experts, by also the, by the Bretton Woods institutions, IMF and the World Bank. The CBN has taken some steps, right? But if you evaluate those steps, they don't go far enough. We're a country of rent collectors. There's subsidy everywhere. So we approbate, we reprobate, we talk, fine phrases, lofty statements. But when are we going to summon the will to do the right thing?
Well, it was phrased by Bismarck Rwane as a healthy debate, but I actually don't have an issue with the Vice President disagreeing with the President. Disagreement is healthy. It's not the same as mutiny, surely. He's allowed to disagree.
No, but I don't have a record of the President of Nigeria coming out frontally to say no devaluation. So it's important to also know that. So it's not as if they are disagreeing.
But we know the President.
No, I'm not a body language reader.
You have to be.
Oh, really? Okay, let me read your body.
You need those skills.
Dr. Abati, you want to read Tundu's body?
No, she's my sister. Go and sit down.
Dr. Abati.
Yes. Well, the point has been made, but if you devalue to attract investors today in a period of transition, and don't forget that investors also look at the political environment.
Yes.
2023 is just around the corner.
Yes.
What to expect?
Yes, which is my point. There's no stability.
With everything goes smooth sailing, and you have a transition. And of course, investors will tarry for a while and see what is happening. So those just conversing devaluation of the Naira is not a master key. Now, other newspapers are also reporting from that parley yesterday. Yes.
Emmanuel Efeni. Let's take a short break, and then when we return, the newspaper review will continue. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Emmanuel Efeni is still here with a review of newspapers from around the world. Over to you,
yes,
Emmanuel.
Looking at other newspapers, the Guardian newspaper. Federal government faces tough choices over likely Naira devaluation. AFDB falls federal government $35.5 billion debt toll. Economic development model. We are making progress on infrastructure development, says Buhari. Naira weakens to 565 to the dollar. CBN does not trust market mechanism, says Yusuf. Economists seek caution on devaluation, worry about inflation. Yes, that at that meeting yesterday, that retreat, so to speak, other newspapers also reporting from that event. The Daily Sun newspaper, Osinbajo, recommends devaluation of the Naira, claims exchange rate artificially low. Nigeria must decisively tackle its debt challenges. Additional. Vanguard newspaper, Naira value. Experts kick as Osinbajo seeks play of market forces. Now, the Leadership newspaper, same story. Expert, others oppose Osinbajo on Naira devaluation. Our current forex is artificially low. Not good for investment. VP, devaluing the Naira will render 2022 budget useless, say expert. Now, another major speech at that retreat was that of Akinwumi Adesina. Somebody listened to him and said, it's like he's pitching for the presidency come 2023, but I don't think so. But he spoke truth to power yesterday. And the areas where the government has not been doing well, he said so. The social investment program, he brushed aside with a wave of the hand. That is not the way to pull people out of poverty. And he was unmistakably serious about saying that the government need to build crop of investors, entrepreneurs from the young ones, support them to create wealth, to create jobs, not giving them handouts. And you are saying you want to pull people out of poverty. I hope the right lesson will be taken. The president has just less than 2 years to go. Well, let's see what he will do with the retreat. Because this retreat is also about assessing ministers and their performance. I learned the president was taking notes and perhaps taking down some names. As the Daily Trust is reporting, retreat, ministers sack looms as Buhari supervises appraiser. Warned cabinet ministers on mandate delivery, president in race against time. Ex-permanent secretary. Yes, I don't know what can change dramatically between now and 2023. The Punch newspaper states lament deductions, demand probe, subsidy rises to 8.2 billion naira daily. Fuel subsidy, OPEC, NMPC acts as government on its own, says Commissioners Forum. States helpless over deductions, federal government a dictator, according to the Delta State Commissioner. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, safety concerns in aviation as skilled staff dump agencies. Pilots, engineers, air traffic controllers resign en masse. The Nigerian civil aviation industry may face a major challenge very soon if the ongoing resignations of skilled personnel in the agencies are not nipped in the bud. Maybe they too are seeking better fortunes elsewhere. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper answers tension as youths plan mega anniversary. Armored tanks, police deployed to Lekki Toll Plaza. Police across Nigeria to join ranks. CP, area commanders, DPO, squadron commanders on red alert. Yes, there is this campaign going on for Nigerians, youths, to mark the anniversary of the Lekki toll gate shooting. What will happen? The Commissioner of Police in Lagos State has warned that there will be no protest. There should be no protest, and that his men are ready. Do Nigerians have the right to protest? Yes, according to the Constitution, we're in a democracy. Should the police and the Lagos State government be wary about these protests turning into something destructive? Yes, they should be worried. But if the police do their job, they will prevent hoodlums from hijacking peaceful protests. That is how it works in other climes. Now, the Business Day newspaper, business leaders caution federal government over unproductive borrowing. Yes, yesterday it was reported by one newspaper that did a calculation that each Nigerian is owing as much as 64,000 naira plus, given our debt situation. So, Ruben, you are owing. Tundu, you are owing. Rufai, you are owing. Because the government is hooked on borrowing. And I'm not the one making that up. Business Day reported that yesterday, that this president is intoxicated with borrowing. Business Day newspaper reported that yesterday.
But what do we say about that in view of Mr. Additional's observations, which I've actually heard before from Zainab Ahmed, that we need $15 billion annually to meet our infrastructure needs? Yes,
you work to make more money, not just going and borrowing. He who goes a borrowing, Ruben,
goes a sorrowing.
No, that's concerning even our infrastructure needs. I think it should get to the point where government should start thinking of putting its hands off infrastructure provision. It should partner with the private sector.
Private sector,
so
PPP.
I keep giving you instances like these train lines we're building. Yeah, it's good the ones they've built before, but should government be building train lines? Can they partner with the private sector that deliver the project more cost effective? And they will have a partnership of payback over the years? Isn't that what we should be doing now? Because you see, government everywhere in the world doesn't totally provide every form of infrastructure.
Well, don't you think we've gone past that? I mean, in Nigeria, we have the infrastructure concession, program and all of that. But the thing is, we have the sovereign fund agency. The sovereign one.
The Sukuk
Yeah, we have all of those frameworks. But the thing is, what is the quality of spend? what is the quality of delivery, you know. So at a theoretical level, yes, we talk about PPP. They even want to adopt that with the airports, for selected airports. But all these models that have been tested in other parts of the world, why is it that when we apply those models in Nigeria, we don't get the kind of results that people get in other
government themselves? And you see, it's a good thing you raise.
Be a partner.
No, but you see, it is government themselves.
Partner.
It is government themselves that ruin it. And I'll give you an instance. Government will agree with this, Mr. A. Take, for instance, Robert Ambati Nigeria Limited.
Amen.
Yeah, build an airport. You do all the design drawings and do everything, and you give me a quote of 600 million. And you start to build, and I guarantee you, okay, yeah, after building, you can recoup your money back either way. A change of government happens, another person comes in. Me, the minister, my friend comes in and said, remove that Ruben Abati guy. Let me come in. Then I come in, then I concession that same thing I concession for you already. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
Well, government
Nigeria, boycotting.
Yeah, you can go on and on. So it is government itself.
But there is sense in the private sector participation in provision of infrastructure. You only need to use the road constructed by the Dangote Group. The arrangement, not so clear, but
well, if any, you have 1 minute left.
Yes, between Sele and Oworoshoki. Concrete road.
What part of Lagos is that?
Well, that is mainland Lagos. If you don't know mainland Lagos,
you know
then you are living in Abeokuta.
This Oworoshoki.
Oworoshoki is the end of third mainland bridge. That is the name. Maybe you don't know. That space, the end of the third mainland bridge from the island, is called.
I know.
It's called Oworoshoki. You think our viewers will not know what I'm talking about? Well, but I think that road is an example of what private sector participation can do. But the arrangement of that is that Dangote will be given some tax holiday on that. But the quality of that work tells you private sector participation is something we should look seriously into. Now, the foreign newspapers, just quickly, the Times of UK. State loans for firms hit by gas price rises. Johnson backs multi-million-pound bailout. Yes, yesterday, Rishi Sunak was opposing, literally scolding Kwasi Kwarteng over his position that these small energy companies should be supported. But the Prime Minister has come out to throw his weight behind Kwasi Kwarteng. Now, the New York Times, many rush to get boosters as vaccine refusers dig in. Yes. Health officials say that after months of strong progress, we have just hit the wall. Now, the campaign for people to take boosters, the third jab, as it were, in America is not helping those who have refused to take. Because they are saying, if you need a third jab, it means it is not working. And of course, they're using a small town in Los Angeles, where they carried out a test. More people are going for third jab, but those who have not taken are not coming forth. Because in that small town, rural town, only 30% are fully jabbed. So the campaign for third jab is having an adverse effect on vaccine hesitancy.
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuel Efene. We'll see you again tomorrow.